Hello everyone, Jace here. So, today I'll be talking about the new upcoming Master Duel ban list that's coming out January 10th, and discuss what I think the meta impact will be. Spoilers, I don't think it will change really that much. So first up are the two newly limited cards, which are Block Dragon and Supreme King Dragon Starving Venom. So for Block Dragon, limiting it does sort of hurt the Emancipator deck, but it doesn't really hurt it that much. There are multiple ways to get to Block Dragon in Emancipators, including extra deck ways, which are Gallant Granite and Union Carrier. So even with the limit, the deck can still get to Block Dragon pretty easily. So overall, it's not going to be that big of a deal. It does mean that there's less recursion if the one copy of Block Dragon gets banished, but that's still not a really big deal because the only banishing card that's seeing a bunch of play is Called by the Grave, which is a 2-off unsearchable card. People don't typically play DD Crow in the main deck. Next up is the only hit that I think is actually good on the list. It's Supreme King Dragon Starving Venom to a 1. So this really, all it does is prevent the FTK. You can still loop Electromite one time with the Supreme King Dragon Starving Venom, but that's fine because Pendulum Magicians are not that great outside of the FTK. So this is really the only hit that I would actually consider good on this list. Next up are the semi-limits. First up is Aluber, the Jester of Despia. So Aluber getting semi-limited slightly hurts because Branded Opening is also semi-limited, but still doesn't hurt that much because there's still a bunch of enough ways to get into Aluber that Despia still has enough playstarters that doesn't really matter. Next is Card of Demise. This going semi-limited really doesn't make sense. I mean, it does mean you'll see it like 10% less often in your opening hand, but it's still just way too strong of a card for stun decks and for decks like Runic, which already draw a bunch because of the field spell. So limiting this to 2 doesn't really change too much about the deck. And lastly is Pot of Duality to 2. So this one is really dumb, honestly. Flues are still like pretty consistent. They all were less consistent with the map semi-limit, but like they still have enough ways to get to their playstarters that one semi-limit of Pod Duality doesn't really matter too much. And next up are the cards that are going from limited to semi-limited, and I'll just put them all up on screen right now. Really, all I have to say about these are that if they're fine at 2, if Konami thinks they're fine at 2, then really they should just be unlimited, because there's not really a huge difference between semi-limited and unlimited. And lastly are the cards that are no longer on the list, which are ABC Dragon Buster and Wind-Up Carrier Zen Mighty. So for ABC Dragon Buster, it really shouldn't have been limited at the start of the game in the first place. I don't really understand why, because ABCs have not been good throughout the entirety of Master Duel's lifespan. And even if ABC Dragon Buster was unlimited on release, it still wouldn't see play. And next one is actually might make a difference is Wind-Up Carrier Zen Mighty to 3. Even though I usually say that there's not a huge difference between semi-limited and unlimited, Zen Mighty is kind of an exception, just because one more activation of Zen Mighty gives you way more extension and wind-ups. And that deck is already pretty decent, honestly, because it creates a huge combo board already, and just one more extender could push this deck over the edge maybe. And that's it for this discussion on the new upcoming Master Duel ban list. I didn't do a reaction video because I just didn't feel like it at the time, so this is just kind of a late discussion video about the upcoming ban list. But if you'd like to see more of these, please like and subscribe, and comment down below what you think of the upcoming Master Duel ban list. I'll see you guys later. Bye.